The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week on this show you'll find a talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs in our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's cabinet and appliance showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today, we're going to start off the show with a couple of folks from MAPA, the Maui Academy of Performing Arts.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
We've got Carolyn Wright, Director of Programs.
Hello.
And we've got Peggy Harmon, Director of Development.
Hi, Susie.
That sounds like the two main ingredients that every nonprofit has to have.
You betcha. We just run everything. Wouldn't our executive director like to know that?
Is he listening?
Probably. Hi, David.
That's what gives him the time to do the things executive directors have to do.
Well, exactly. And he's not only executive director, but he's also artistic director,
right.
So he's got two hats that he wears.
Didn't I see he's directing something?
He is. He's directing our big show for this summer called The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And he's directing that. We'll be performing at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center the last weekend of August and the first weekend of September.
So he does have plenty to do.
Oh, my goodness.
A few things.
Yeah, right.
He works 7 hours or 7 days a week,
Yeah.
24 hours a day, I think.
Somebody said that, that if 65 is the new 40, then 9 days a week is the new 7 days a week, or something to that extent.
Yes.
Wait, you're getting far too far.
I think it just means we can never retire.
I think so. I think you got that one right.
Which is fine.
You know what? And the bottom line, what would we do in our retirement?
Well, exactly.
I mean, you're doing what you love to do.
That's exactly right.
And that used to be what you did in retirement.
Right.
You worked, and then you retired and did what you wanted to.
Exactly.
So
We've been fortunate because we get to work and do what we love as we're working.
Right.
Yeah.
And work with so many people. I was just thinking as I was walking over here. Here we are at the end of the summer season, basically, for you folks. You had so many programs going on.
We're always busy, it seems like, but summertime is particularly busy because we have a lot of programs for kids, and so that's the time that a lot of them have to participate in the performing arts. We just finished a production of Disney's Mulan Jr. We had 50-some kids who spent 6 weeks with us every day, 5 days a week, learning how to sing and dance and act. And then at the end of the summer camp, they performed 2 weekends of this show, and it was fantastic.
Wow.
They, in addition to building all of their skills in acting and singing and dancing, they also learn how to collaborate with each other and learn how to communicate more effectively and learn how to problem solve. So we hope that the skills that they're learning in these summer camps are things that they can then carry on with them throughout their lives.
Gotcha.
To be better students and better workers.
Do you ever get close enough to the classes where you see when they first come in how shy and how what's the word I want? Not confident.
Oh yeah.
And just not sure why I'm here. Kind of with a little voice.
Absolutely.
We see that
and
year
then
after
over the
year.
course of 6 weeks,
Yeah.
bam.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, we have kids, whether it's in our academy program, which this summer camp is part of our academy program that also has classes and camps throughout the school year. We also have programs in the schools, and so we go directly into the classrooms and teach the kids acting and dancing within their classroom. And so we have so many kids who don't learn through the more traditional instructional strategies in school. The teachers will say, "Oh, this kid is so shy and quiet. I'm worried he's not going to participate in your class." Well, if you find the right avenue, really the performing arts are for everybody. And then they just blossom. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, now, and when you say everybody, I mean, there's something for everybody.
Yes.
Within the performing arts arena.
Absolutely.
if you will.
And
Absolutely.
pretty much at MAPA too. I mean, we start at 3 years old with pre-ballet, and I would say for this summer show, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, I think our youngest cast member is 16, and our oldest is in her mid 80s.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that is the span of the ages.
Wow.
You know, so it really truly is for everybody. And actually, Carolyn has just been developing a new program that's launching this fall. So Carolyn, you got to tell about that
Well,
one.
we call it Performing Arts for Kapuna. And so I'm saying it's anybody for ages, if you're 50 years old or up, although I had a 48-year-old called me the other day and said, I'm not 50 yet, but can I play anyway? I said, of course you can, come. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a class situation for the Kapuna. They'll come once a week, Monday nights, for an hour and a half, and we'll take them through a whole process of learning how to move their bodies, learning how to open up their creativity, and so that eventually we hope that this program can grow into a performance program. We're going to start with just opening up yourself to the performing arts. So whether you've never performed ever in your life, whether you haven't done anything since maybe that second grade school play, or whether you did things all the way in college and even beyond, and you just haven't done it in a while and you want to get back into it, we wanted to create an opportunity. This emerged out last year when we did a production of Jekyll and Hyde at the MAC. I thought, well, this play is based on a Robert Louis Stevenson novel. And so why don't I get some book clubs on Maui to read the novel, and then I'll go into their book club meetings and we'll explore the novel through the eyes of an actor. And we did that. And we had so many book club members who said, this is really fun. I've never done anything like this before, or I haven't done it in a long time. And I said, okay, great, we'll create a program for you. So that's what we've done.
The visual I'm getting
Yeah.
of this group of people coming from all walks of life.
Exactly.
Retired, not retired, whatever
Yeah.
the case might be. And the histories behind them,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I mean, will there be someone who is shy and quiet in this group?
Absolutely. There will be, I'm sure. But that's the power of the performing arts, right? We are the storytellers in our society. And so the idea of taking people's stories and encouraging them and motivating them to share their stories, their personal stories, through the performing arts, it is transformational for us as individuals, but also for our community.
Well, and it's also our job is to make it a safe place and a trusted place for people to make themselves vulnerable. Because I come out of a performing background, but years ago I was doing some hula, which I had never done, and I thought to myself, oh, wow, this feels, I felt
Scary.
like it did. It felt scary. But when you're amongst a group of people who are just lifting you up, that's as important as the skills that you're learning is to be in that place and with those people who are saying, we're in this together. Let's hold each other's hands and jump off the cliff.
Right.
No.
Well, in terms of empowering us to know that we can make a difference in our community, no matter what, these people are going to come from all different walks of life. And so if they can step into this class and do something that they didn't know they could do before, imagine that transferring into their real life then and saying, okay, I've always wanted to make a difference in whatever the field would be. Maybe now's the time. And so I do feel like that, building that self-confidence, it has these manifestations all through our society.
So if there's a cause out there that they've been thinking they maybe want to get involved in, or they really feel dedicated to it, but they don't know how,
Absolutely.
something like this can open that up for them to find what they can offer.
Well, a perfect example of that was Carolyn's daughter grew up in this program as a performing artist, and she gained the confidence. So at the Women's March this year, she got up and did a spoken word poem in front of, however, hundreds of people there, and there was a perfect example of having the power of her conviction matched to sort of the training that she had in how to do that. Was a perfect marriage.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't know she had it in her.
Well,
Yeah, you did.
I see it at home. Although, she's heading off to college here in a couple weeks, and she's going to Washington, D.C., and she really wants to make a difference in the political world.
Really?
And I really attribute that to her work with MAPA. Even though she's not going to go off and be a performer in her life, all of the skills that she gained as a dancer, as an actor at MAPA, I think will translate into the work that she wants to do to make a difference politically for our country.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've always thought they were all actors
Yeah.
to some extent. Oh, shame on me.
Shame on you, Susie.
Well, and
when-
the reality is not all people who are involved in the performing arts want to be on stage.
Right.
And so we also have lots of opportunities for backstage work. And we have volunteers. We could never do the work that we do without the volunteers. They're so incredible, from sewing the costumes to building the sets, painting the sets, working the box office, all that sort of thing. And being in the audience. And we depend, our work would be meaningless if we didn't have the audience to share that experience with.
Right.
And we have a school program. Do you want to talk about our tour show, Peggy?
Oh, for sure. Oh my gosh. So we've been taking our programs into the schools for over 30, probably about 35 years. And we have two different sort of paths of the programs. One are the performing arts residencies that are in-depth, multi-week, 8-week to 12-week programs where teaching artists go into the classroom. The other piece is our educational theater tour, which for the last however many years, we've actually been taking stories and working with local playwrights to adapt those stories for audiences on Maui, for kids in Maui elementary and preschools. And so this year, our story is The Fisherman's Wife, and the person who is adapting it for us and is going to be performing is Kathy Collins, who has worked with MAPA for over the years, off and on, mostly in adult productions, but she retired and she said, I'd love to do something like this. And so it's a perfect marriage. So we're taking our show on the road to probably 32, 35 different preschools and elementary schools this year. And we usually reach about 6,500, 7,000 kids.
Wow.
And one of the remarkable, unique things about what we do is Carolyn, because she has a master's in education, she creates a study guide for every single grade level with all sorts of activities that enable the teachers to expand on the lessons from the show into classroom curriculum. So it'll be through language arts, it'll be through math, through science, and from the teacher's perspective, it allows them to meet certain of the standards they have to meet with Common Core state standards. So it's sort of this blend that happens, and the kids just have a blast.
Right.
I mean, I think,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
that's one of the main things is they just have a blast with the show.
Well, we hope we're developing
Yeah.
new audiences. When if you're a 3 or 4 year old and you get to see a play in the school and it's fun, and then you go home and you tell your parents about it. Hopefully, we're developing our future audiences as they grow up. They'll continue coming to the theater.
Well, I think that as you describe it, the thing that struck me was, here's the performance, but that's not the end of it.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's only the
exactly
beginning.
right.
Exactly.
And it,
Yeah.
it hits in all these other phases of your life.
And that's an important core component of everything we do at MAPA. So we are the performing arts, but we're really educational performing arts, and that's lifelong learning, like Peggy said, from 3 years old all the way on up. And pretty much every program that we have has an educational component to it because we believe so deeply in the power of the performing arts to change lives. Our mission is enriching individuals, building community, and connecting our world through the performing arts. And so the performing arts are fabulous entertainment, yes, and there's so much more. They are truly transformational on an individual level and also on a societal community level.
That's, I guess the thing that astounds me about MAPA is the age range. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got, and as well in the classes as well as in the performances, you've got the high class programs that you put on, the plays or musicals, whichever, that you present from time to time, and then you've got your run of the mill, everyday actor kind of thing
Yeah.
that you do, and it's so awesome to see this all in one package.
We are so lucky on Maui to have access to so many amazingly talented people. So we're able to bring that professional level, seriously Broadway quality work to Maui, and so we work at that level, and then we have the education component that goes along with it. And so you're right, the span of what we can do, we really do have something for everybody.
Yeah, it's awesome. On that note, we got to take a short break.
Oh,
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we're back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our Maui Nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out what's happening in their world. And as you know, in the nonprofit world is made up of many worlds. Did that come out right?
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
right.
That's amazing. Gosh. Anyway, here in the first half of the show, we're talking with Carolyn Wright, Director of Programs, and Peggy Harmon, Director of Development for MAPA, Maui Academy of Performing Arts, and kind of winding up the summer and gearing up for the fall. And we've been over the break, we talked about the Kapuna workshop, because I think most of us in this room fit that qualification.
Yes, indeed.
I would say so.
And
Maybe not Gary.
pretty close, huh?
Oh, I am. I'm over 50.
Are you?
Okay, good. You
there
come
we go.
play with us, Gary. We want you in the class.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're going to do that right after we do the glass blowing, right? Yeah. Okay. We have a standing thing with the folks at Hui Noi Ao about going to their glass blowing class.
Ooh.
And we're going to surprise them one of these days. We're going to show up.
How long have you been saying you're going to go?
3 years? Yeah.
So we'll see you in about 5 years in the Kapuna program. Okay, gotcha, Susie.
Oh, 5 years. Oh, my gosh. But no, it does. I mean, it just, I think of several people that I know who would get so much out of that class,
Great.
you know?
Yeah.
And the trick is going to be to get them to that first one.
That's right. That's
it
right.
Totally is. It totally is.
Well, I'll tell you, we have Andre Morissette, who is a choreographer and a dance teacher. He teaches up at Seabury Hall. And so he's used to working with kids, but he is also brilliant at working with people of all ages. And he's been our choreographer for our big shows at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center for the last 5 years, starting with Les Miserables, and then we did Miss Saigon and Evita and Jekyll and Hyde, and now Hunchback of Notre Dame. And he works hand in hand with David Johnston, David as the director and Andre as the choreographer. And Andre just has a magical way of helping you feel comfortable in your body. And you end up being able to do things that you never believed that your body could do. But it's all in a really safe and really fun way. So we will get started with Andre in this class, and everybody will, I promise you, everybody will be laughing and having a great time and moving our bodies in ways we never knew we could.
And plus, he speaks with a French accent.
Oh,
so
even better.
How can you
Oh,
beat
hello.
that? So Carolyn and I actually had personal experience
Yes.
of this because a number of years ago, she and I were in a production of Fiddler on the Roof. And Andre was the choreographer, and we definitely, both of us, experienced that sense of ease in working with him and sort of taking ourselves out of our heads where we're like, oh my gosh, did I miss that step? Oh, am I going to remember? And he just makes it easy. and makes you feel comfortable and confident doing it. So.
Yeah. So come to this instead of taking Zumba.
Oh, exactly, exactly.
That's too much of a workout, but this sounds like it's a workout, but it's fun.
It's super fun. And then we'll also have Christy Scott. Christy Scott is the new artistic director of Pro Arts, the theater down in Kihei. She is also a member of Free Range Comedy at the Improv Group, and then she also teaches for MAPPA. And so she's going to be coming in as well, and we're going to be doing some improvisational games. So things just to kind of free up our imaginations, learn how to release our creativity, and trust our instincts. And she does it all just like Andre does, in a way that you don't even realize you're learning. You don't even realize that, the next thing you know, you're doing something you never dreamed you could possibly do. And you've done it all with a smile on your face and having a great time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's something you did many years ago
Exactly.
but have forgotten.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's just so easy to come. I mean, it's like riding a bike.
It is.
You're right back on it.
That's right.
Cool.
That's right.
Gosh, that's
Yeah.
exciting. We may have to go see that, Christine.
I hope you'll
I
come.
would like to participate.
I think she's
That's
great
right.
too.
Sign up.
Yes,
You can
I'm
just-
coming to the class.
You can go to mauiacademy.org, and if you click on the registration button, you'll see our schedule. We offer about 100 classes a week, and so this is just one of them. So you just scroll down and look at the classes for adults, and you'll see we have a dance class and we have an acting class, and then we have our academy program is huge. Our enrollment is about 1,200 every semester, so we have all these kids funneling in and out of our academy studio building in Wailuku every single week, doing hip hop and ballet and acting and all kinds of fun things.
Interesting. Well, I know there's a group there because sometimes when I leave the office late, they're coming out of the back door there of your place.
Yes.
And the parents are trying to jockey for a parking space or to get in the parking lot or whatever.
Oh, that parking in Wailuku, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Gotta love it.
You'll be glad to see some things change, won't you?
Yeah.
Especially with you. Now, how are things happening with your new building? Anything going on?
Well, I think since the last time we were here, we moved our offices into one of the new buildings. So we're now on the third floor of what is currently called the Promenade Building. That's the one that has the food court on the first floor, and that's been a great move. We dramatically increased our space, and there's lots of light and wonderful views. And our parents and supporters have been able to find us. You always wonder about that when you move spaces. And one of the fun things is that business to the tenants at the food court has increased because we've got parents coming through and registering
Activity,
kids,
right?
and so it's been kind of a wonderful win-win situation. For our food court tenants in particular, and then we have started the process of planning for the future, which is always a challenge in terms of the jigsaw pieces is what I like to call it. But we've got a lot of the logistical stuff in place, and that's the main thing that has happened in the last 6 months is. It's okay. So now we have this property. So now we need to step by step understand. Right. Okay, we need to put this in place and that in place, and now we've begun the process of visioning for the future, right. Which is an exciting thing. So
now it's real.
Yeah, exactly.
It sure is.
It's not that dream that you had. It's real.
No.
Exactly.
No. And I mean, we've been extraordinarily fortunate, really, really blessed, and so many things fell into place for this to happen, and we have so many supporters who are interested in helping us stay on the journey and get to the end of it. So it's exciting. And one of the things actually coming up, speaking of our supporters, is we have our annual garden party.
Right.
This is our 29th annual, actually, and it's at the Yokouchi Family Estate, October 1st. That's a Sunday from 1 to 5. And we've got an amazing list of restaurants that include, I think it's about 18 or 19 restaurants now. So we've got Fleetwood's, we've got Saigon Cafe, Bistro Casanova, Cafe Olay, Shearwater Tavern. If you haven't been to Shearwater Tavern yet, that's a new place in Kihei. Very delicious. Three's Vineyard, Monkey Pod, Kahili, Sugar Beach Events, and more and more. Sangrita's on the west side and Pizza Paradiso. So it's I like to call it the best deal in town. Tickets are $75. You get all this incredible food from about 20 different restaurants. We'll have some fine wines provided by Paradise Beverages and kombucha, and you name it, we're going to have it.
And of course, fabulous entertainment.
Fabulous live
I was going to
entertainment.
say hello.
We have an inside track to the fabulous entertainment.
I see.
Well,
Direct connection.
We also have artists who set up
Yes.
and create fresh, we call it fresh art.
Oh.
So they sit there and paint or sculpt or whatever their art form is. And so you can go up and chat with them about their process, and you can see them creating the art right there. And then the artworks that they create, we auction off in the live auction. So it's really fun.
So George Allen, for instance, has been doing this event with us for years, and so all pretty much everybody this year, except we have one new artist, Jim Kingwell, from the West Side, who's a wonderful plein air artist, and we have Steve Turnbull, Jack Hamilton, Jim Fletcher. Joe Fletcher, and did I leave anybody out? Jamie Roth. So we're going to have 6 wonderful artists.
Cool.
So yeah, it's really a celebration of the arts. And then, our live and silent auctions and our hat contest.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
that's the thing. Okay, come on, Susie. The hat contest. Okay?
Okay. I gotcha. This is original
Yes.
designs
Yes.
created and worn to
Yes.
the party.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So,
And this is always a sold out event.
oh my gosh, yeah, it's usually about 400 people. So
Yeah.
it's a mob scene, but so much fun, and it's
Yeah.
outdoors. And the beautiful thing about it is because of the property and the Yokouchi estate. The Yokouchis have been so wonderful for years in allowing us to use it. You don't feel like you're crammed into a space.
Right.
It feels open and beautiful.
But it's so fun to run into people you haven't seen in years. It's a great event. And you can go to our website, mauiacademy.org, if you want to grab a ticket.
Yes, or call the office and we'll sell you a ticket over the phone.
And that number is?
244-8760. And our website is mauiacademy.org.
I love that you shrunk it down to Maui Academy.
Yeah. Well, it'd be way too long. Maui
gosh.
Academy of Performing Arts.
And putting MAPA, M-A-P-A, on there wouldn't tell anybody anything.
No, exactly.
So that's great.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure having you guys on
Well,
because
thank you.
Susie?
they're so full of enthusiasm. I mean, it's like you don't like what you do.
It's
I mean, it's awful.
terrible. It's terrible.
It's got to be horrible to go to work every day.
Shh, don't tell our boss that.
Okay. Hey, it's wonderful. I mean, I can't help but think. You talk about 1,200 students every semester.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know a lot of those are probably repeats who just keep learning and growing with the program. But the lives you touch, and what an inspiration this is.
Well, thank
because
you.
I keep thinking of that person who's just not sure of themselves and just, probably had to be shoved out the car door to go in the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or go
Yeah.
in with a friend or
Right.
whatever. And by the end of that first class, they're ready for the next one.
Absolutely. We always say we have the best job in the world
Yeah.
because we get to watch the kids and the adults blossom, and there's nothing like that. And then they go off into the world and make a difference doing whatever it is they do, and it's a wonderful thing.
Do you ever get letters back years
Yes.
later from somebody
Oh,
telling what
yes.
something did for them?
Yes.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
We got one a few years ago from a young woman to our dance director, Kathleen Schultz. And Kathleen had done a dance class for children with special needs through MAPA. And this girl was her teaching assistant, and she was so transformed by it. She said, I just wanted to let you know, Miss Kathleen, that when I went to college, that's what I studied, and that's what I'm doing now. She said, I just had my first performance with 3 children. And
Oh,
she
my
said it was
goodness.
it was remarkable. So, yeah, a lot of times, teachers don't hear back, but
Right.
then every once in a while, you get one of these letters that makes you go, wow, yeah, I really did have an impact. And the great thing about Maui is you do run into the families,
Right.
too, so
Right.
you hear it a lot verbally.
I'm sure there's some statistic on for every letter you get, there's X number of people who feel the same way but just didn't write.
Probably,
Oh,
yeah. I
you
don't
know.
know what that
Yeah.
statistic would be,
but
but
I'm sure it's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
And folks, remember, we're looking at mauiacademy.org is the website. Phone number is 244-8760. Kapuna night is Monday night starting.
Starting the middle of September.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, though, we have Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Aha.
You don't want to miss that. 6 performances only, the end
Right.
of August and beginning of September at Maui Arts and Cultural Center in
Very
Castle
good.
Theater.
And tickets, same place.
No,
no.
tickets are
Wait,
at the MAC.
Although you can
Yes.
link to it through our website
Oh, okay.
if you want. Yeah. so-
Terrific.
Yeah.
Wow.
you.
Thank you for
Well, thanks
joining
for
us.
Thanks for
today.
having
us.
us.
Woo! I was kind of halfway, kind of, laid back when I came into the studio today because I was doing all this research stuff, which is no fun whatsoever. You just kind of sit there and go, oh no, I got to go find this file now. One thing leads to another kind of deal.
Oh, yes.
I'm ready to go back and get back to it.
Well, there
You guys have done it
go.
for me.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for all that you do for the youth and through Kapuna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our
Okay.
pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, and now for the second half of the show, we're going to switch and shift gears a little bit. We have someone new with us, someone new and some organization that is new to the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. We have Christina Chang, who is the president and executive director of Lokilani Ohana.
Hi, Susie.
How you doing, Christina?
Great. Good to be here.
I
Thanks
tell
for
you,
having us.
I started reading about Lokilani Ohana, and I am so impressed with what you guys have been able to do since you started how long ago?
We started actually in 2000 under a different name, and there was a split in the board, and we developed Lokilani Ohana in 2006
Okay.
and have been running our programs now for going on 11 years.
Wow, that's great. And so just kind of give us a brief overview of what Lokilani Ohana is all about.
We're a Camp Hill-inspired initiative which comes out of the work of Rudolf Steiner, which is based in anthroposophy. And anthro means human, and Sophia is the second Greek interpretation of anthroposophy, and that means wisdom. So Rudolf Steiner was able to connect to the spiritual world and see that the wisdom of man could be reflected spiritually through manifestation of work on the planet in many different areas. So the reflection of bringing forward what the spiritual world has to offer. And what we're most familiar with in Maui is the Waldorf School. Haleakala Waldorf School is based in that education. And for children with disabilities, like my daughter with autism, there wasn't that school available here in Hawaii. So at 9, she went to the mainland
Wow.
and attended Camp Hill Beaver Run in Pennsylvania, which is the only school in the United States for children with disabilities that's Waldorf-based. And it's a community that's based in one of the many areas of manifestation of Steiner's work, which is education, curative education in Waldorf, and biodynamic agriculture, and medicine, anthroposophic medicine, and also the movement is really important, the arts, culture, the rich cultural life. So there's not electronics in the school, and there's always live music. They all perform plays on an annual basis. I'm interested to know when you're doing another class for people with special needs. We'd love to work with you on that at MAPA. And the threefold social order that comes through social therapy is really the root of the Camp Hill movement in North America, which is based in freedom, the freedom to be who you are, to know yourself, what's your strengths, what do you love, where do you want to live, who are your friends, what kind of work would you like to do, and the brotherly love, to really have community with each other and share brotherly love and community, and then equality. So in the eyes of God, we all are equal. There's, in describing any one of us, we aren't our attributes really. Like if you see someone with a disability, they're not their disability first. They're a human being. And they just happen to have a disability, and people want to be seen for who they are. And in the social therapy movement of the work that is based in the Camp Hill movement, it's recognizing the strengths that everyone has. And people with special needs are remarkable human beings. And it's a gift. People who are drawn to that work recognize that they have a ability to develop themselves as a human being and interacting with people of special needs, because people with special needs are so kind and loving and forgiving and present and tolerant and grateful. I mean, all the things that we esteem to be,
Right.
they already are.
They have it.
They have
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They are our teachers, really. And when we work with them, we develop ourselves in order to really meet and interact with people, and we become much better people. So people who are drawn and working with a social therapy kind of model and working with life sharing life, it's not just a revolving door of getting paid a certain number of hours for work. It's more sharing life together. So we have programs on the farm with weaving and gardening, growing food. We've been feeding the community for 10 years from our biodynamic farm in Waihee.
And I'm going to stop you right there because you've got so much more to say, but we got to take a short break.
All right. Thank
Aloha
you, Susie.
from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we're back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week we talk story with our nonprofit executive directors to find out what's happening in their world. In the second half of the show today, we're talking with Christina Chang, who's the president and executive director of Loki Lani Ohana. Before the break, she was giving us some background on Loki Lani Ohana and where the movement comes from and how it was put together. And just starting to tell us about some of the things that are happening there at Loki Lani Ohana with their farm. Now, you've got what? You've got about an acre and a half?
Yes.
And before the show, she was telling us some of the stuff that they're doing out there, and it's incredible what they can do with an acre and a half. You want to share that with our audience?
Yes, it's old Hawaiian land. My daughter's Hawaiian Chinese on her dad's side of the family, and we leased the land with Kuleana water, so it was actually gifted during the Great Mahele for providing food for the community, and that tradition has continued to present day.
Uh-huh.
And there's many old trees, ulu and mango and coconut, and we have a lot of banana, and our products have been sold at Mana Foods and Down to Earth for many years, and we've also grow a lot of cotton and make pillows, seatbelt covers. We stuff honus for children and adults, and we're also making a large quilt that's going to be on the wall that's going to be gifted to, we'll disclose that in the future.
Ah, okay.
And the relationship with the farm is that it gives people with special needs, not only people with special needs, but our community, a place to experience therapeutic gardening. So, for instance, tomorrow there will be 12 volunteers from the Mormon Church that come almost every week, and they experience everything from basket weaving, which they did last time they were out, to picking Job's tears and making necklaces, or picking cotton and ginning it for the program. And we run an organic program. It's called WWOOFing, Worldwide Workers of Organic Farms. So people come from all over the world, volunteer, and learn about sustainable agricultural practices for their own life. And then a program for people with special needs where they come to the garden. So there's an integration of the community. We offer also classes in biodynamic agriculture periodically to the community at large.
Explain biodynamic agriculture.
So it's similar to Hawaiian moon calendar farming, where you have a relationship with the cosmos,
Okay.
the planetary relationship of the influences of the planet and the moon with agriculture. So there's 2 weeks out of the month where you put your preparations on the earth to enhance microorganism health. You're using your pest management, you're planting. And there's certain days related to leaf, root, flower, that we, for instance, have an aquaponic system, and we plant in that 2-week time period in the aquaponics on the leaf day to enhance the thrust of that potential of that plant to be more healthy, produce a higher yield. And then there's 2 weeks where we do more property management and take care of other kinds of needs of the farm. So there's an in-breath and an out-breath.
Interesting.
And they found that by utilizing an alignment to understanding these natural influences with the cosmos and responding to them from, again, the earth, the reflection of the subtle world, the subtler world, to the physical world, that the agricultural products were healthier, bigger,
Wow.
better.
Yeah.
So dynamic is a way of dynamizing. So the remedies are made in the earth. They're made of different herbs. There's certain herbs like oak bark and yarrow and nettle and chamomile, even ground quartz, and the manure of the cow is stuffed in a horn and buried. It's BD 500, and then taken up after a number of months. And they take these preps and we put them into water and we stir them 1 minute in one direction, 1 minute in another direction. It dynamizes the remedy, it potentizes it. It's similar to homeopathy,
Yeah.
where homeopathic remedies are made in water, and the more you dilute them and succuss them, it becomes subtler and more potent. I'm a homeopath by my profession, and also a doctor in Oriental medicine, so I came into this work of biodynamic agriculture with a background that was very compatible for me in understanding these biodynamic practices. So bio is like the biology, dynamic is dynamizing, and it's a very dynamic approach towards agriculture.
Wow. Well, I know some of the samples of things you brought in for us to taste and so forth today. Just absolutely incredible.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you know, I just, and I've got a couple of things to take with me to eat after a while because it wasn't practical to eat here, but I can't wait.
Great. I'm so glad
you know, this,
to gift you.
And yeah, thank you so much. The How many clients do you have in the organization that are working the farm and so forth?
Well, we usually have about 5 woofers at a time.
Okay.
And then volunteers will be anything from anyone coming in maybe 12 to 15 a week.
Okay.
And then our clients have shifted. We partnered with Easter Seals and Kalima o Maui over the years. It's been everything from a few to 20 at a time.
I see.
Our farm is on a septic system, so we have a limitation of not having more than 20 clients at one time on
Okay.
the farm with our relationship of being rural.
Right.
We hope the county brings the sewer out in the future, but we're respecting our infrastructure.
Okay.
And we're right now partnering with Kalima o Maui in a weekly weaving class. And the space that we have the class in is only 200 square feet, and we squeeze 5
sounds like a
looms
tiny
and people.
house.
It is
Yeah,
like a
it's kinda,
tiny
yeah.
house.
Interesting.
Yes, and our weaving instructor, Dana Allen, studied Saori weaving from Japan, which is free weaving. It means free weaving. It was developed actually for people with disabilities. You can use your feet and or hands to manipulate the loom, and the warp of the loom can actually lift out, so you can have a person work on their project and then have another warp go in, so you're not limited to the number of people that you can work with projects on because of this, which is a really new feature for
Wow.
weaving.
Yeah.
And we have a 1,600 square foot studio, and 980 feet of it is going to be dedicated to Saori weaving and the creative arts. And many people have helped us bring this studio to a place of near completion, but we're still developing and finishing that studio, which will expand from a 200 square foot. Then we'll be able to actually have 20 clients with our weaving class at one
Wow.
time, but right now we're limited to 5 because of the space.
So now are you taking the cotton that you raise and creating the
Well, we do
material
we do
in some
s-
cases?
We do. We spin the cotton, but
Uh-huh.
we also just weave with the raw cotton.
Okay.
It's really poofy and it looks beautiful, like a wave or
Yeah.
a
Well,
cloud.
you can see it in some of the pictures on your
That's
website.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And then we also, like I mentioned, I brought in a honu that's
Uh-huh.
stuffed with the cotton. We stuff seat belts, and so we utilize the cotton even for Christmas cards during the season
Interesting.
with making little
Wow.
snowmans and Santa Clauses in so many different ways.
That's great. Now you've also got a project going on, which is it's a massive project, and that is the house that you have been able to purchase with the help of a fundraiser that was kicked off with the help of Chris Christopherson.
That's right. Thank you, Chris and Lisa.
Yeah, this was back in 2011. Is
It
that right?
was,
Yeah.
yes, out at the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris generously donated his entire gifting of that evening and earnings to Lokilani Ohana for the capital campaign and getting the ball rolling for us to buy a home. And the mayor was our speaker that night. There was a proclamation honoring him for his work with people with disabilities, which he's always been an advocate for. In many years, he's an advisor to our board. And the efforts of many were put together in acquiring an affordable housing grant, which we received through the county of $400,000, which assisted us in buying an 11-bedroom, 7.5 bath home in Kahului, which actually was built with the intention of elder care, but not finished. It went into foreclosure, and it wasn't finished with the ADA, the wheelchair accessibility that we need for our housing. And so we've been under construction for the last year, doing over $100,000 of renovations. We're near the end and close to getting a wheelchair lift
Yeah.
from the first to the second floor
Yeah.
for the house. And we have been striving towards a state license with the Department of Health, and also exploring a very innovative model of housing, which is really supportive of the Medicaid waiver final rule that came out this year on My Choice, My Way. Who am I? Where do I want to live? Who do I want to live with? You know,
Interesting.
and having more options of integrated living and living with and without people with disabilities, and maybe people being able to live with private pay and also possible HUD support. And so we're working with the housing office and, you know, really considering this as an option for housing as well, which we think gives people more empowerment and keeping more of their resources personally with this model, having more choices towards independence and integration. And we'll be opening the home very soon. We're quite
Wow.
excited, and thank you to everyone for so much work over the years that made this possible.
Boy, that's incredible to have that happen and to be able to do that and start moving people in. So
Thank you,
11
Susie.
bedroom house. Wow.
Yes, yes. So with the DOM license, we're limited to 5 people under one roof, but if there's an integrated living model, then we could actually offer housing to more people. And also there are people with disabilities that aren't necessarily developmentally delayed or disabled, but are in a wheelchair.
Right?
So how many homes on Maui have wheelchair accessibility?
Yeah,
We
not
really,
very many.
we're looking at more housing options and making them ADA compliant.
Boy,
Yeah.
that's incredible. You have such a full plate. I mean, this is just, again, I get worn out just listening to all the opportunities that you're presenting for people. And the idea of the visitor or the volunteers coming in on a weekly basis and rotating, or some maybe come once, maybe never again, but others coming in on a kind of a regular basis, it sounds like.
Yes, yeah. There's many models. Like some people stay for a year and do a work trade with us on the farm, and some people return. Right now we have 2 people on the farm who actually have returned that were there for many, many months before, which we're grateful for. And the volunteers learn about so much that they can take with them, just like with MAPA.
right.
You know, moving, integrating their
Right.
learning into their life and using it in so many ways. And it's not just limited to agriculture, it's teamwork,
Yeah.
communication, like the social therapy that we spoke about
Right.
is broad. It's brotherly love, it's
Yeah.
community, it's the freedom to be yourself and respect and that, honor that, and recognize the strengths in others and support that. And you know,
I'm so glad you were able to join us today to talk about this program. You know, I kind of try to think that I know a lot about what's going on in the nonprofit world, but you guys, I mean, you came right out of the blue. And thank goodness you joined the Nonprofit Directors Association, so we can have you on again.
well, thank
one
you
of these
so
days.
much. We really appreciate that.
And tell your story. This is great, and I understand what you're doing, and it's great. So now a phone number to reach you or the program would be,
I would say 344-4338,
okay,
and the landline is 249-0254.
and the website is Lokilani Ohana. Why can't I get that? LokilaniOhana.org.
That's right.
Okay, terrific.
Our
Thank you.
island flower.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us, Susie.
We'll have you back again.
We appreciate it.
Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Oh, right on cue. Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies, and if you see one there that you want to learn more about, go to their website or give them a call. Today we visited with the folks from Maui Academy of Performing Arts and Lokilani Ohana. See, I did it right that last time. Yay! And learn more about their organizations. We want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to join us again next week, right here, same time, same place, on KAOI Radio, 1110 AM, 96.7 FM, 96.5 FM on the west side, and 98.7 upcountry. We'll feature 2 more representatives of nonprofit agencies next week. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. Aloha.